CBC Marketplace has done another undercover investigation on the real estate and mortgage industry, and they've uncovered mortgage fraud that they've caught on video. In today's video, I'm going to give you a quick recap of that video report from the CBC, as well as give you my honest thoughts and opinions as a real estate agent and someone who also works in Durham Region and the Greater Toronto area. My name is Jessie McLellan, and as I said, I'm a realtor here in Durham Region, and I make video content to keep you updated on what's going on in our market, specifically Oshawa and the Durham Region. If you enjoy this type of content, please subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. Now with that being said, let's get into it. The CBC video report is a little over 20 minutes long, but I will provide the link in the description of this video in case you wanted to view it yourself. So to recap, this report by the CBC catches real estate agents and mortgage agents on video offering to commit or pushing their clients to commit mortgage fraud, and using fake documentation about their income and their occupation to help them qualify for a mortgage that they otherwise wouldn't qualify for. The video seems to focus on a specific brokerage in Toronto and the stories of two different couples who were trying to purchase a home, and their agents and or mortgage brokers that were offering to commit fraud and forge documents for an extra fee so that they could get financing for the houses they wanted to purchase. The CBC also sent in undercover buyers to 10 agents that they believed to be involved in this kind of activity. And 6 of the 10 offered to forge documents or commit some sort of mortgage fraud to help them qualify for a higher loan. The first couple was new to Canada, and from the information in the video, which is all I have to go on, it sounds like they were very misled by their realtor. They were told not to get pre-approved before looking at homes, to offer more money than they could afford on a home, and to essentially not worry about the financing aspect of it. It sounds like they submitted a firm offer for around $1 million, and then they weren't able to secure that financing from the bank. Then their agent offered to hook them up with someone who would fake documentation for them and help get them approved. The couple chose not to associate themselves with that and ended up not being able to close on the home they agreed to purchase. They indicated that they ended up walking away from a $40,000 deposit, and they could still face legal issues in the future. Now, just to clarify, if you are not able to close on a home that you have put a firm offer in on, you will be in breach of contract. But contrary to popular opinion, it's not just that the buyers will forfeit that $40,000 deposit to the sellers. In their case, that home they agreed to pay almost $1 million for ended up selling $300,000 less. And the seller could end up suing them for the difference in sale price as well as their legal fees. With the second family, who were also new to Canada and have children, it sounds like they entered into an agreement to purchase a home worth $1.3 million. But then just after they mentioned that, the couple says that their agent told them he would be able to get them between $800,000 and $1 million loan, and they put a $100,000 deposit on the property. Now, maybe they thought that their down payment was going to make up the difference between the purchase price and the loan amount. I'm not really sure what the specifics of their financial situation is, and it didn't really mention what their total down payment value would be, only that they put a $100,000 deposit on that property. But again, they couldn't get financing, and their agent steered them to a sketchy lender who offered to give them a bridge deal at a ridiculous cost until they could get financing from a bank. And then according to them, they were contacted by a mortgage specialist at Scotiabank who charged them $5,000 and made up fraudulent documentation and lied about their occupations in order to qualify them. According to Scotiabank, that employee was later fired and the couple was reimbursed the $5,000. However, that doesn't help the financial and legal mess they're now involved in. By the end of the video, both of these families are in tears and are basically facing potential financial ruin and legal issues for years to come. And they are even considering going back to their previous home country. Now, I'm not a lawyer, I haven't read their contracts, and I am only basing my opinions on the same information that you will be able to see in the video. There very well could be more to the story, but I do have a couple things I'd like to say about this. First off, this doesn't just affect the families that were misled by a supposed professional. This doesn't just risk their financial well-being and put them at risk of being sued for hundreds of thousands of dollars and tied up with legal battles for years to come if the deals don't close. This also starts a chain reaction. The seller who accepted $1 million firm offer for their home also probably used that information to inform their budget and purchased with that in mind. And you may be saying, well, that's on them for not waiting until it closed. But once their home closes, they would have to leave, and they don't want to end up homeless or scramble and find a short-term rental and then start shopping for houses. And the fact that they had a firm deal means that there should have been no way for the buyer to back out of that contract. So most sellers will go ahead and use that accepted offer price to determine their budget for their next home. But if the sale of their home falls through, especially at the last minute, it could force that seller to back out of the home that they purchased, causing a chain reaction and affecting multiple innocent families over 3, 4, 5+ deals. And all of those families could face lawsuits too. Not to mention the extreme amount of stress that all of these families will have to deal with potentially for years if it gets drawn out in court. And it all starts with one person deliberately misleading somebody who put their trust in them. Realtors and mortgage brokers who do this and actively guide their clients to do this and put those clients in very risky situations do not deserve the privilege of serving those clients. And quite frankly, do not deserve to work in this industry. If prices drop and interest rates rise, these are the families that are going to feel it first and get hit the hardest because they're already stretched beyond what they can comfortably afford. It's irresponsible and morally reprehensible to put people and families in a position where they could lose their homes and be sued for hundreds of thousands of dollars. And this could snowball, affecting so many other people who did absolutely nothing wrong. This is the largest transaction that individuals and families are likely ever going to make. And I think it's appalling that there are agents out there that are willing to take advantage and don't understand that there are real people behind these transactions who put their trust into you and the information that you provide them. It's not just a sale, it has real life consequences, and you always need to put your clients first. Now, as a real estate agent watching that video myself, there were a ton of red flags that popped up really quickly. For example, the realtor says not to worry about getting pre-approved and not to worry about financing and putting in a firm offer without knowing what you will qualify for from the bank. There are so many red flags there, and obviously these buyers either didn't read or didn't understand what they were signing or were very misled throughout the process. And unfortunately, they were trusting the professional that they hired to represent them and their interests to help educate them to make the best decisions for them and protect them. Yet the buyers and the sellers who end up involved in these deals that can't close are the real victims and the ones that have to deal with the consequences. It's also just a ridiculous way to run a business because if and when those deals don't close, you're not going to get a paycheck and you open yourself up to being sued. So it seems like they're hoping that if the buyer ends up not being able to be qualified with a bank, all the better because they'll be able to charge an enormous extra fee and qualify them with fake paperwork anyways. I would also like to mention that although the CBC sent undercover buyers to 10 realtors and 6 of those realtors ended up offering to do some kind of mortgage fraud, these were 10 realtors that they had been warned about, and if you watch the video, it seemed like they were really gunning for a specific brokerage. And 6 out of 10 of all realtors are definitely not involved in this. But I do think that the report uncovers that this is an issue to some degree, and that those people that are doing it do not deserve to work in the industry. Now, at the end of the video, the CBC reaches out to RECO, which is the Real Estate Council of Ontario and the regulatory body for agents in Ontario. They have the authority to discipline realtors, issue fines, make them take courses, and even revoke their license if they feel it's necessary. According to the CBC report, both couples filed RECO complaints, and one was told that it would take 6 to 8 months to get back to them, and the other one was told that they didn't have enough evidence to discipline the agent. I'm not defending it, but since COVID, things got backed up and 6 to 8 months tends to be a little bit more common than it was before while they're trying to catch up. And as for the couple that were told they didn't have enough evidence, I can only assume it's because they didn't have any proof in writing that that's how their agent guided them. If they didn't have emails or text messages and were told things over the phone or in person about faking documents or putting in offers or anything like that, there might not be a whole lot that RECO can do. do. And I think that's where a lot of the issue is right now. So they're unlikely to be putting this information in text messages or emails or something that can be saved and used against them, which is likely part of the reason that Rico said in 5 years, only 7 people have been disciplined for being involved in some kind of mortgage fraud. I think Rico knows that this is an issue, and now the public is much more aware as well. And I don't think it's a good look for realtors and the council that regulates them and is there to protect the public isn't commenting. There are people who are dealing with mortgage fraud and facing huge financial losses, and so far it sounds like nothing has happened to those agents. Now, obviously I'm not defending buyers who commit mortgage fraud and do it on purpose, but certainly people who have been taken advantage of, especially like new Canadians who might not have known what the buying process in Canada looks like and didn't find that information out until it was too late. It is a heartbreaking situation to see people in, and I hope that we as an industry can weed these people out moving forward. I hope those buyers involved in this are able to recover financially and hopefully can move on. I'd love to hear your thoughts as well. I tried to give my honest opinions as a real estate agent. I know it might have come off a little bit ranty, but I do hope that you took something of value from this video, even if it was just the red flags to look out for. But thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.